Hello, my juicy jelly beans. Today I'm going to be trying out a few products from Resiners. They sent me this huge dragon mold, which is pretty cool, and it has a lot of gameplay. On the side of the mold, it says it holds 700 ml or 23.6 ounces. Good to know. I will link everything I'm using in the description box along with any discount codes I have for you. Today, I want this dragon to sparkle different colours depending on how the light shines on it. The dragon eyes are fairly large and I've added an 8mm cabochon to see if it could fit in there. And it did without any problem. I've already added a line on the back of the cabochons. That way I can calculate better the angle without having slanted eyes. I've already done one eye, so let's do the other eye. You'll need some UV resin. Add a really small dot of UV resin to the inside of the socket. Try to get it smack in the middle. It's a bit fidgety because it's a deep mold and I have little fat chubby hands. Grab your tweezers and a cabochon. Add the cabochon into the socket, making sure it's face down. Adjust the cabochon and try to get it in the middle. Then cure it with a UV torch under and over for about 5 seconds each. Check you've placed them in the correct position. Once you're happy, place it under a UV lamp to cure it for 30 seconds more or less. We still have some area on the eye. If you're a courageous jelly bean, you could colour it in with a pigment or some acrylic paint. I'm going to use black UV resin to fill it in to avoid fallout when using a powder. Less cleaning up to do. I'm going to prepare some homemade black pigment. I'm using Resiners UV resin. It has a medium viscosity. Add some UV resin into a little disposable pot. It's going to be easier if I just open the cap and pour the amount. I'm going to be putting it into a black needle bottle. That way I can reuse it. A black needle bottle will protect the UV resin from the light. To turn the UV resin into black, I'm going to use an alcohol ink. Any black that you have will do. Begin to add some drops of the ink. Stir it in before you decide to add more drops, as we don't want a jet black. We will need the light to still pass through. Add drops bit by bit, as we can always add more but not take away. If you see you've made it way too dark, just add more UV resin to the cup to thin out the colour. The fun part will be pouring the UV resin into the needle bottle. With a bit of patience, it is possible. Have fun! Now we need to add the black UV into the socket. I'm adding a few drops onto a little silicone mat. With a micro brush, scoop some up and fill in the socket. Cure it with your UV torch. The more layers you add, the darker it will be. I only added one in the end and I should have added more. We need to prepare some resin and I'm going to be trying out Resiners for the first time. It's a 1:1 ratio by volume. I do like the fact that part A is a grey bottle and part B a black bottle, which helps to avoid mixing in the same parts twice. Have you ever done that? Because I have. I've already mixed my resin, and jelly beans, I cannot live without my Resiners mixer. I hate mixing by hand, especially when I have to mix more than one amount. Resiners mixer has 2 mixers, which saves you on time, especially if you're using resin that doesn't have a lot of mixing time. The fact that it's wireless is a plus, allowing you to not have wires getting in the way and cluttering your workspace. Oh, and the paddles. Well, I was sold as soon as I knew that they were silicone paddles because they are so easy to clean. The amount of times I've forgotten to clean them right after using them, it doesn't stress me out anymore because any cured resin can be easily peeled off. No more gunky paddles. It even comes in purple. Another product I cannot live without is my bubble popper. I use this for every project. It sucks out those bubbles perfectly. Here's a tip. When using low viscosity resin, fill your cups only halfway, as you will get frothing. The thicker the resin, the harder it is for the bubbles to rise up. I keep an eye on mine. If I see the froth starts to rise up too high, I turn the machine off and let the air out. Then I start the machine back up again. It comes with 3 timers, 5 minutes, 10 minutes and 15 minutes. It has a larger capacity bowl so you can add more than 1 cup at a time. Resiners have kindly given me 15% discount code for you in case you want to try any of these products out. I'm really happy with my machines and they make resin life a lot easier and more enjoyable. This mold is pretty deep and I really should be using deep pour resin. I've run out, so what I do to avoid a fast cure is put a fan right on top next to my resin, which helps it cool down without overheating. A fast cure can be dangerous. It should be attended properly. Begin to pour your resin into your mold about 3/4 up. You will definitely need to poke bubbles out, so use a tool to reach all the spiky areas of the dragon, because there will be trapped bubbles. Squeeze any sections you can. Once done, put it to one side. Mine's next to a fan. We want to add some magic, and I'm going to be using a bluey-green aurora powder. I will try and find a dupe for you as I can't remember where I got this one. Add some of the pigment powder into the resin and mix it in really well. Make sure there are no blobs of unmixed pigment. You know I love my auroras. I just find them so mesmerizing. Let the resin warm up a little bit so it gets a little more thicker. Okay, so I left it warming up for about 10 minutes whilst I was tidying up. Remember, this resin is low viscosity and it will warm up fast. Pour the content into the mold and use a tool to get the colour to spread around. You're probably wondering why I didn't just mix the pigment into all the resin. Well, by doing it this way, I'm going to have some areas with just clear resin, leaving the pigment resin suspended in only certain areas. Fill it up to the top. This mold doesn't need 700 ml. 600 is more than enough. Need to make a note of it. Leave it to cure next to a fan so it doesn't overheat and cause a fast cure. With the leftover resin, I found a mold to pour it into. It's a matte mold, which I haven't used before, so I'm curious to see if it's cute. This has cured, so might as well demold this little guy with the leftover resin. It's a matte mold, which I do like. I know I'm a bit weird, but there's something about matte resin that I just love. Oh, it had little eyes. Shame I didn't realise because I could have added some. Next time. He is cute though. It would be easy to make him shiny too. Let's demold the big almighty. I found that adding soapy water is the best way to get out difficult pieces out of the mold, as it causes a slippery film, plus it doesn't damage your mold. Squirt the soapy water around the insides of your mold and squidge it all around. Begin to demold. I had a hard time with this mold, and I got my son to help me. I didn't want to break a nail or a finger. Any overpour, just cut it away. For this next step, I'm going to use a chrome top coat, which is brilliant. When you want to add powder to cured resin, I find it's the best way and it avoids wasting product. Add a thin layer to the bottom of your piece and cure under a UV lamp for only 30 seconds. I've chosen Let's Resin's Chameleon in blue. You can use any colour you prefer, even flakes. Use a soft brush with a bit of pigment and brush it over the bottom area. The chrome top coat picks up the pigment perfectly. This is another product which I really love and everyone should have one in their stash box. It's clean, easy and cheap and works perfectly. Big juicy hugs to all my jelly beans. Thank you for supporting my channel. I love you lots. If you're enjoying this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. And if you want to become a jelly bean, hit the subscribe button. We need to add a backing to secure the pigment, so I'm going to use the black UV resin we made earlier. Pour some onto the back and with a disposable brush or a silicone spatula, spread the UV all around. Then cure it under your UV lamp for 5 minutes. Keep watching for the end results. Toodles!